Hey, so uh, I don't know if how many of you keep up with the corporate criminal news outlets, especially the truly fake and truly obscene Fox News, and I say news very uh, vitriolically because the simple fact is they are the most vile thing on the planet. Anyways, recently Fox had a brought on a guy to say, "Oh, fossil fuels are great. They supply carbon for our trees, and that's the building block of life. And so, fossil fuel is contributing to the economy. Fossil fuel is contributing to our lives in a meaningful way." And so it was just complete and utter garbage, just like everything that Fox does. Um, and I named him number one seditious, treasonous, um, seditious traitors, uh, along with Breitbart and the Daily Stormer and all those other right wing, well, no, not right wing, criminal outfits being paid by people like the Koch brothers and the Mercers and that other idiot. He's a casino owner, casino magnate or something like that. That's friends with Trump. Um, you got Betsy DeVos who's helping along with with all these quote unquote legal corporations. Uh, but all they are is basically organized crime. Uh, they commit crimes on a daily basis, and yet they have somehow legitimacy. They act like organized crime. They are organized crime. They're seditious traitors, and yet they have legitimacy. But we jaywalk, and we could face 30 years in jail. Uh, you know, I made a point of this before. Uh, there's a single mother who has Crohn's disease, and she was on welfare, and she wanted to get off welfare. She wanted to go work, and she was a mother with I think two or three children, and she was growing weed in her house, but she wasn't smoking it. She was extracting the oil from it to use as a medicine, and that medicine helped her get better. And she went to community college. She got education. She started working. She went got off of welfare, and she was arrested and jailed for 30 years, and her children were taken away. Another young woman, she shoplifted a leather jacket, and she's in jail for 70 or 75 years, something like that. And you know, these are the sort of things I'm talking about. We do these minor these they're not even crimes, really, considering the blatant and over the top crimes that the quote unquote legitimate politicians commit or the legitimate businesses commit. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you have a couple ounces of marijuana, or even cocaine or heroin. You could be facing 25, 30 years. And the fact that black minorities who are tax-paying Americans can get get harsher sentences for the same crimes that white people can do. I mean, you got this guy who basically raped he was he came from a rich family. He raped a girl, and the news and everybody else put it out as, oh, we don't want to do ruin his life, except this guy has a track record of doing it. These are the sort of things. It's the wealthy, the shareholders, the majority shareholders, the ones that have the largest proportion of stocks in corporations. We've seen it on Law and Order. We've seen it, and the thing is I keep pointing out that these a lot of these stories and the disclaimers that they put on don't just come out of thin air. They have people that they bring in from the police, the FBI, investigative journalists, and so on and so forth, who basically give out these storylines, and they put out these disclaimers, saying that these are just fiction and so on and so forth. But that brings me to another point: is that you have the proliferation of these law crime quote unquote crime shows that is making it look like they're doing their job and it's so difficult. But the thing is the reality is that's not the case. It's not the case. And the reason why they put it out is because they're getting bad press, because they're getting bad PR, because there are records, public records, showing that the law enforcement and the judicial system isn't working. And it's only benefiting those who have money or political power. Or if you're famous, it only works for those people. And the rest of us can go to hell. And the thing is this: there is white privilege. There is absolutely no doubt that there's white privilege. But here's the problem with that, is that your white privilege cannot stop everything. Because if you do something really to tick off, to irritate someone who's in power, it doesn't matter if you're white, you're going to get fucked. And that's the thing. This is why I can't stand right wingers, but it's also the reason why I want right wingers to understand that they are getting screwed over just like everybody else is, and that their whiteness isn't going to save them from everything. And the thing is every policy, everything seems to be geared towards making sure that unless you are famous, unless you are ultra wealthy, unless you have connections, unless you have political position or official position, you're fucked. If you are targeted, you're fucked. It doesn't matter what skin color or the shape of your eyes or what your name is or what your religion is. It doesn't matter. And Fox, Breitbart, the Daily Stormer, and all those others, they're doing a disservice. And they know they're doing a disservice. And that's the other thing that frustrates me. They know that they are betraying. They know that they are doing a disservice. they don't care because they are part of the establishment and they're not going to face penalties. That's why I get angry when somebody that is misinformed who has white skin goes around uh, doing violent action because ultimately it's going to backfire. Ultimately, the the system is against them. It's abusing them. It is using them, and that upsets me more. It just isn't right. So, anyways, those are my thoughts. Sedition, seditious treason is something that the elites can do. Crime is something that the elites can do, and the crimes that the elites can do affect all but those who have influence and power. This is why we are in a state where we are going to see the very possibility of our extinction. I was just watching an interesting program um, done by this guy. He's an entrepreneur, and he's also a one of those people that invest money into others. His name is Kerwin Ray, and he had was talking to a biology guy named Dr. David Suzuki, and Dr. David Suzuki talks exactly about what I've been talking about, but also along the lines of climate and ecological genocide. And we have to use these sort of terms because it is committing genocide on us. When corporations, the crimes that corporations commit, is a genocide, is an attack, is an assault. And when politicians allow these criminals to write the legislation and policies, it is a treasonous crime. So I keep harping on this. It's an issue that we all have in common. It's common natural law, and we need to have common natural law because that's where sanity lies. That's where purpose and direction lie, and that's where we get a future that we're happy to see the next day, and there's a more natural balance where relationships aren't these forced, arbitrary, engineered, artificial things, and we actually get relationships because we it brings the community together and it gives a community a purpose, and that's what we need. So, oh, thanks, um, damaged. Um, yeah, this is new for me. I'm not really good at keeping track of several things. So, anyways, yeah. So we really have to start thinking differently. And I've posted other videos on how to get results. And one of the things I've said is if we want a non-violent way, which actually gives force and actually has them thinking, what we have to do is stop doing everything. Come together as a community. Back each other. So stop driving your cars. Stop paying your phone bills. Stop paying your taxes. Stop using your police. Stop using your fire departments. Stop everything. Don't buy groceries. Don't do anything. We can grow what we need. We can take what we need from the planet, which supplies us everything we need. We can We can do many things and just stop. Don't do anything. Just be within the community, help each other out, and this will get the point across. The point is, hey, we're we're sick of your shit. You're gonna listen, and you're gonna do exactly what we ask you to do. And we need to do this on a large scale. We need to divest them of the rules and the power that we play into by buying into it. And that is the nonviolent and easiest way to get it across. Because they cannot send the police, they cannot send the military to force you to go and buy things. If they're not getting the money and they don't have a way to get money because nobody's buying, that's how we get the results. So, uh, there's one solution to getting what we need and what we want, and using that we can get the results we want. We want fixing of the climate change. We want equality and equal opportunity. We want to be able to follow our dreams, and that's how we do it. The other way is to use the community, get the skills and the knowledge that the community has, and learn within the community and do for ourselves, just like Bo talks about. We don't need the institutions. We have people who are crafty enough and clever enough to be able to draw out information we need on the internet, on the web. So we can do that. We can use our libraries. We can use our bookstores, or the books that we already have in the community. We can do all these and better ourselves. I talk on my one of my on several of my videos about how we can get a new electrical infrastructure that makes it so that every home, house, residence, and public building creates electricity, and that's using something that we do when we pass gas and when we go take a shit, and that's create methane. So the food that we don't eat, we can send down to create methane. We can draw that methane in a simple process of of uh, compression and using compression tubes with a simple crank to get out that methane. We can use that to heat our homes. We can use that to power our vehicles. We can use that for multiple purposes. And if you add in solar, if you add in wind, if you add in gravity, if you add in like if you have streams and brooks and rivers, and you add in these small looks like almost like a like on your boats, the boat motors, except it's encased, and you just have the water power of the water. Turn that, and it's connected to generators. If we do all those and add in biofeedback electronics that takes electricity from biomatter, such as plants, we got that. There are, and we could be completely and utterly self-sufficient, and we can contribute to solving the climate crisis. And we don't need to hire contractors. We just need the community. We need a purpose, a direction, and the will to carry it out. We can learn to do it ourselves. We have to stop following the rules, these arbitrary rules that restrict us from helping ourselves. That's how we do it. There are so many things that we can do. Our water. Why are we paying for water, and the water is actually contaminated. When we can do the same thing that I talked about with the electrical grid, we can reclaim the water at our homes, each and every one of our homes, residences, and so on and so forth, and businesses. We can do it, and we can get zero particulates and have clean water, which is actually better for your hair, for your skin, and for yourself internally. It has healing properties. There's a lot of stuff. Yes, nonviolence is the best. Yes. Um, so there's that, and as I said, if we do this as a community and we spread it out and we get it across the entire country into the territories, and we could have that and not be paying some criminal asshole for our electricity or our water, and we can start dictating as the greater community what the value of electricity and water is, and take away the element of power, the artificial power that these people have, these criminals have. And that's how we do it. And the thing is you get enough people to do it. It saves. Now let's talk about just on the simple fact that it's going to save us literally, literally billions of dollars a year that we could pocket for ourselves and have dispensable money and not be concerned about blackouts or not having electricity or anything like that. And while we're doing that, we teach ourselves how to do it so that we can maintain it ourselves. Knowledge and skill and will, purpose and direction. That's how we get things done. We're gonna stop, as Paul says, we're gonna stop looking to others to solve our problems. We have to take the problems we face and do it for ourselves. And it starts locally. And when we do it locally, others will see it and see the value of it and do it. And that's how we are responsible for our community. That's how we are responsible for our country. That's how we become patriots. That is patriotism. That is the economy. I keep saying money is not the economy. Markets are not the economy. People are the economy. Innovation are the people. Imagination are the people. And the people make the country. The country is not your infrastructure. It's not your government. The country is us that make up a community. And that's what it is. If we want to be heroes and we want to be patriots, then we need to do for ourselves and set the example. We're going to stop talking about it. And not only that, but that will relieve our stress and our anger and our division because it will bring us together as a community. Community is what gets things done. Money does not make the world go around. It's people and the ideas and the knowledge they have. Be the hero. Stop looking for the hero. Stop looking for the guide. Be the guide. Be the hero. Be the example. That's what we need. We can only accomplish that when we do as a community. And a community, as I said, is the country. And that is each and every American, no matter what their skin color is. That is the country. All right. Thank you for your time. Thanks, Damaged.